The Chicago Bears are bringing in their third candidate for the defensive coordinator position. What's up, guys? Swift here, covering everything Chicago Bears, as they are conducting their third interview for the vacant defensive coordinator job today. After bringing in Chris Harris and Terrell Williams already, now the Bears are bringing in Buffalo Bills defensive line coach and senior defensive assistant Eric Washington. He has served that role with Buffalo for 4 seasons. Prior to that, he was with the Panthers for 9 years. He was their defensive line coach for 7 seasons before being promoted to defensive coordinator for 2018 and 2019. In his 2 years as DC, he coached underneath Ron Rivera. In those 2 years, his defenses ranked 15th and 23rd in total yards. The Panthers finished 7-9 and 5-11 in those 2 years, and he would move on to Buffalo after Ron Rivera got fired. But more interesting than that is he got his coaching start in the NFL with none other than the Chicago Bears. He worked under our current DB coach, John Hoke, back in 2008 and 2009 as the assistant DB's coach underneath Hoke. He would then take the job as our defensive line coach in 2010. That's the year we went to the NFC Championship with Jay Cutler. It's also the last time we won a playoff game. Yup, it's been since 2010, and our defensive line coach was Eric Washington. He is now back interviewing for the DC job. I listened to 4 press conferences of his and read a couple of articles. He seems like a very well-spoken coach, but the most important thing I picked up is how he considers himself a teacher at heart. He also has a close relationship with Von Miller and Julius Peppers. When listening to him in press conferences, he speaks adamantly about taking the ball away and seems like he'd be a perfect fit with Matt Eberflus. He challenges his players, and he never stops talking about getting the ball as a defense. He is a player's coach whose priority is communicating and teaching his players. He's a team-first guy who listens to feedback and seems like he'd be a good fit here. He worked at Northwestern before coming to Chicago, and I've heard some great things about how impressive he is as a coach. I'm actually pretty impressed by the 3 guys who have been brought in for our defensive coordinator position so far. Eric Washington joined Chris Harris and Terrell Williams. I would be pretty happy with any one of those guys as our new defensive coordinator. Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, and Ian Cunningham seem to be taking these coaching hires very seriously. I love the direction they seem to be headed. And speaking of Ian Cunningham, no update on him yet. There are still a few GM jobs open around the league, but it looks like there is a chance that we could keep Ian around for 1 more year. With another one of the most important off seasons in Chicago history coming up, selfishly, I've almost been rooting for Ian to stick around for 1 more year and then land a job next offseason. I think he could still see unfinished business here as he came to help us turn it around. And even though we're on the right track, I don't know if we're to a point yet where Ian feels like he's done enough in Chicago. Now that's pure speculation on my part though. I have no idea what's actually going on in his mind, but I know if I had a chance to rebuild an NFL franchise with one of my best friends, I would want to stick around at least a few years before branching out and doing my own thing, but that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. I have a ton more content on the way, and more Bears news should be dropping soon. Please remember to hit that like button for me, and until next time, bear down.